Working from home gives you a lot of flexibility. You have the freedom to get up in the morning, not have to worry about the usual routine of brushing your teeth, sometimes taking care of yourself, whatever, doing the usual things, and you pretty much just kind of roll right into work. You get the flexibility of appointments during the day, being able to break away and do the things you want. But on the downside, unfortunately, you get sucked into working from home, and it's very easy to lose track of time. And like I said, some of those daily maintenance things that you do with just taking care of yourself, sometimes if you're really caught up in your work, kind of go to the wayside. So I work today, I do work for the CDC in a software engineering role. If you think about all the information that we look at in the news, the statistics around the current increase in tests, the current increase in deaths, or the decreases, ups and downs across a per state basis, and over time. You think about all that data, it comes from each of these places where people go to get tests done. Could be your local physician or wherever, but you think about at the end of the day, all that information has to make its way to one source for someone to be able to present that information. And that's really the job that we do, is all of this data comes from the different states, and if you think of it, it's not always in the same shape and form. Everybody kind of gives it to you differently, and so we have to deal with making it look consistent, throwing out bad data, cleansing it, and then ultimately making certain that it's legitimate information and validating it. And then we ship it off to the White House when it's done. So two parts. I'd say, what I just described about in the world of COVID, obviously that information is critical just to understand, our current path and future path, and how well we are not, handling the current situation. So it's more of a data information, at this point in time. But second part is, in a software engineering world, which I've been working in for years, having worked in healthcare and, other areas where it's heavily consumer focused, we benefit people out there, whether it's in getting loans, whether it's in getting healthcare, whatever it may be. We write software, we build solutions, we make businesses more efficient through development. Could be mobile apps, could be desktop applications, web-based applications, etc. I love it, and it's hard. I love programming languages. I love learning new languages, but that's not what the industry is about as a whole. There's a lot there, whatever your forte may be. But the one thing that's for sure is that the industry is going to evolve. The industry is going to change. So the things that we were doing 10 years ago, 15 years ago, those are long gone. We're no longer doing those. And so there's always a new challenge to solve, always new things to learn, whether it's cloud-based or artificial intelligence, or dealing with scales of, economies of scale around data, etc. Right? There's always something new and exciting to learn there. So yes, I thoroughly enjoy my job. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. It's completely different than the way I started, and that's what's most compelling to me, is the evolution of it. And I think it's similar to what I just described. I think, people always talk about we're going to, eventually write artificial intelligence that, takes over our jobs and does it for us. But the reality is if you look at over time, the problems that we solve are problems that are, addressed and allow us as humans to move on to the next thing, whatever that may be. So our jobs today that we do, programming on, development on, large scale engineering around, will no longer be problems 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and maybe computers will have addressed those. But as humans, we'll be focused on whatever that next, realm of focus is, in the future. So I do think there's a future.